As a time management expert, there is one thing I do to ensure I don't get overbooked, overcommitted, or overscheduled with my to-do list. And today I'm going to tell you exactly what it is and how you can do it too. My name is Megan Sumrell. I'm a time management expert for women, and I'm on a mission to bring work-life harmony into homes all over the world through realistic planning exercises. Today, again, I want to share with you one simple thing you can do today to help you stop getting overbooked, overscheduled, overcommitted. Because when that happens, guess what else happens? We get completely overwhelmed, right? So there are two types of activities that you typically spend time on. And when I say activities, I'm meaning like things that people would call traditionally productive, right? Things that would live on your to-do list. There's essentially only two categories of things living there, and they are this. Category one is your recurring tasks, things that you do on a regular rhythm. So it might be something you do every day, might be things you do every week, it might be things you do on a monthly cadence, all right? These are those rinse and repeats activities. Now, the second type of things on our to-do list are what I call one-off tasks, meaning it's a one and done. It's a project that you're going to do, you're going to finish it, and you're not coming back and doing it again tomorrow or on a regular pattern week after week. And the fact is, those recurring tasks that I talked about, the things we do on regular rhythms, they often are not reflected on your calendar. And if you are running a business or running a household, or perhaps both, as I am, I'm here to tell you, you have a ton of these that you're probably not even aware of because you just do them on autopilot. All right, so let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about with these recurring tasks. So when I think about just like my house, right, running a household, there's a ton of chores that are done on different cadences, right? Laundry, cleaning, etc. Sometimes there's phone calls in terms of like making sure that all the appointments are on the calendar and scheduling dentists and doctors and orthodontists and all of that. There's personal email, staying on top of it, running the household that way, paperwork that comes in from school and where else, right? Think about your errands. How many times are you going to the grocery store, the drugstore? Cooking, are you the one that does dinner every night? Do you spend a chunk of time supporting kids with homework, right? So thinking about those recurring tasks there. And then separately, if you work in a corporate setting or running your own business, you're going to have your own recurring tasks as well. Just email alone, right? That's something you're probably doing daily. There may be, now as a business owner, I have all sorts of things that I'm doing on a recurring basis in terms of recording videos such as this. I have a podcast where we drop episodes every single week. I have a newsletter that gets written every single week, right? These are recurring things that traditionally don't show up as appointments on our calendar. And because they're not reflected on our calendar, we are always thinking we have more time than we do. And when we believe we have more time than we do, what happens? We get overbooked, we get overcommitted, we get overscheduled. So I want to share with you a tool that I do pretty regularly to make sure I'm not letting that happen. Now, at the time we are putting this video out, it's a new year. This is a great time to do it. I always do it in the new year. And then I know it's a sign for me to do this again if I start to notice in a couple weeks in a row that I'm consistently not getting everything done that I had planned to do. All right. And it is simply this. You need to get a solid understanding of how much of your time, daily and weekly especially, and then you can start to do it monthly as well, is already accounted for or spoken for with recurring tasks. And it's a very simple thing for you to figure out. So I love to just take a blank piece of paper from my planner. You could also just grab a piece of notebook paper, right? And do this over the course of a week. And what you need to do is you're going to be capturing 3 pieces of information. First is writing down any to-do or task that you are actively, spent time on. That is something that you know is recurring. All right. So maybe you sat down and you wrote your weekly newsletter. You're going to write weekly newsletter. Now, the other 2 pieces of information you're going to capture is how long did it take? Right. So maybe it took you 45 minutes to do that. And then third, what is the recurrence pattern of this? Is this something you do weekly? Is this something you do daily? Is this something you do monthly? All right, now again, we're just capturing these recurring tasks because these are the ones that typically you don't have visibility into how much of your life is already spoken for these activities. So once you've captured all of this over the course of the week, then you're going to go back and look at, okay, what were all the ones that I listed as daily and how much time is that? So for example, you might spend a chunk of time processing email every day. You might spend a chunk of time if you run a business in your project management tool going through and answering questions in there. Maybe you have things that you do. Maybe you produce a video every single day out on social media, and that's something that's listed as daily. Versus you may have weekly tasks, right? And again, you're going to do this for both household and work. Regardless of what your life looks like, you need to understand what are these recurring tasks. And then you're going to be able to write down how much time of my day, every day, is already spoken for with recurring tasks, how much of my time each week is already spoken for. And it is going to be eye-opening. When I have people go through this exercise of just their recurring tasks, we're not even looking at the one-off projects, all right? There is so much awareness of, well, no wonder I'm so dang exhausted. I didn't even realize how much time I was spending on these things. It's no wonder I'm so frantic because I kept overbooking and overscheduling. Now, I'll kind of share with you what some of my numbers are right now. So just from a business perspective, I work about 23-ish hours a week on average on a given week when I'm not taking time off. When I go and list out between daily and weekly recurring tasks, it takes up almost 12 hours of my 23 hours per week. That's basically half of my time every week for work is already spoken for before I even come and hit my desk on a Monday morning. Between recording podcast, videos, etc., writing emails, creating content. I also serve as the CFO for the business. So there's financial stuff that needs to happen every week as well. A lot of different things. But when I look at that, I know half my time for every work week is already spoken for. Now, this helps me from getting overbooked and overscheduled because let's say I have a new project I'm super excited about and I realize, I think it's going to take me about 40 hours. My traditional calendar might show me, oh my gosh, you're going to knock this out in 2 weeks, Megan. But if I can see I really only have 11 hours, maybe 12 to work on it each week, assuming I say no to any other new stuff, one-off projects, it's going to take me 4 weeks. That's best case scenario. But because we don't see it, we're always thinking we have more time than we do. You can kind of think of this as like budgeting, right? It's really important for you with your finances to know how much money is already spoken for at the start of every month, right? Maybe you get a paycheck at the start of the month for $5,000. You're like, I have $5,000. But when you list out your mortgage, your electric, your gas bill, right? All the bills, maybe you've got a car payment. You might see, oh, wow, by the time I've bought food and paid all my mandatory bills, I really only have $1,000 left. Well, knowing that is going to help you make very different choices about how you spend your money. And this is why we need to know this about our time. Because when we know how much time we truly have, that is going to support you in making really powerful decisions about what you say yes to and not being unrealistic with what you take onto your plate. So I encourage you to go ahead and do that recurring task audit. And I promise you, it's going to give you so much awareness into why you may be overwhelmed today.